In this 5-part video series about self-compassion, I've already shared with you 2 strategies to cultivating more compassion, especially self-compassion in your life. I've talked about intentionally including positive moments during your day and developing a gratitude practice. By the way, if you missed any of those videos, you can check it out using the link in the description box below. In this video, I'm going to share with you one more way to cultivate self-compassion, which is noticing the shoulds in our self-talk. Hi everyone, my name is Paula Cristina Azevedo and I'm the founder of The Meditating Teacher, where I teach and support educators, parents, and leaders about mindfulness practices so we can all be a bit more present and compassionate for the kids and teens in our lives. Have you ever said to yourself or someone else, I should be or they should be? For example, during the holidays or on your weekends, you might hear yourself saying, I should be grading papers right now, or I should be planning for next week. Or maybe your shoulds are about family obligations or the state of mind, or even your physical appearance. These shoulds can easily consume our thoughts and can quickly replay our favorite shoulds over and over again. As my teacher, Shel Fisher, says, we should all over ourselves. When we pause to question and be curious about the shoulds that we repeat to ourselves or others, we may realize that underneath that should is something a bit more pernicious. There may be guilt, unworthiness, perhaps regret, unmet expectations, or past stories that we don't even realize we're still carrying. Dr. Neff has found in her research that the biggest reason people aren't more self-compassionate is that they are afraid they'll become self-indulgent. They believe self-criticism is what keeps them in line. Most people have gotten it wrong because our culture says being hard on yourself is the way to be. Many of us have unconsciously bought into that message. But it's those moments that we're shoulding all over ourselves that we can practice self-compassion. Just noticing the should that arises within us can be a great start to cultivating more compassion and self-compassion. You can start by inviting yourself to simply count the number of times you say the word should to yourself or someone else throughout the day. This takes mindful concentration and practice of noticing. If being mindful of self-talk seems daunting, then start small by counting the number of times you say should for the first few hours of your day. Either way, the number of times you say should may be revealing. It may help you notice that you're shoulding all over yourself. You can take an additional step by inviting yourself to be mindful of your self-talk. In other words, pay attention to what you're saying and what's behind that self-talk. You can start by noticing when you say the word should. When you hear yourself saying it, pause and be really curious about the word should. What do you really mean by it? Where is this should coming from? Is this an old story from the past? Is this should that you're carrying from someone else? Or is this truly your own belief? Is this should coming from an obligation? Or is it coming from criticism? What you're doing is noticing what the should really means. This exercise can be really powerful. You can start to unpack some of the ways you're being self-critical or critical of others, or even what your expectations are and where they're not being met. Or you might uncover something else. Remember, as you're investigating the should, be gentle with yourself. There's no need to be self-critical or judgmental during the practice. You can practice this noticing of your shoulds and begin to drop the shoulds that are toxic, that are no longer serving you or anyone else. However, this isn't something that you can do for 10 minutes and voila, the shoulds simply disappear from your life and your self-talk becomes more positive and filled with rainbows and sunshine. No, this is a practice. We're humans living very imperfect human lives that is constantly changing and filled with challenges. Once you drop one should, perhaps another should emerges, and another and another. Sometimes the shoulds we thought we got rid of come back again. And it just keeps on going. It's really easy to become frustrated by this and judge yourself for not getting it right. There's no right or wrong. This is a practice. With this practice, you may begin to notice that you are more self-accepting. You accept both the parts of yourself that you love and the parts that you dislike. With each moment that we notice and genuinely are curious about the shoulds in our lives, we open ourselves up to more compassion. Being compassionate, and especially self-compassionate, is a lifelong practice, but it can become easier the more we cultivate it in our lives. Join me next week for the 4th video of the Cultivating Self-Compassion series. By the way, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss a new episode. And if you want to learn more about mindfulness, be sure to check out my website, themeditatingteacher.com. There you'll find blog posts, free guided meditations, and resources to guide you through your mindfulness and self-care journey. Also, subscribe to my newsletter so you can get additional information and resources.